So on vacation, sorta, and still working, sorta, is what Ashley's been doing in the middle of a jobocalypse. I don't understand it, but I guess we can talk about it. The jobocalypse, Ashley, has continued. We've been hearing a couple of things. Now, one, I sent you some information that talked about this perceived importance of a college education. In other words, higher education, yeah, I don't think so. Then we start hearing in another article I sent you, talked about 92,000 tech workers have been laid off so far in 2026. And now I just get word that it's not just from the pandemic hiring. These are folks that are going directly and cutting into the meat. What say you, my friend? What can we do to help people talk about this jobocalypse and some ways, I guess, to get around it?
Honestly, there's not too many different ways around it. The answer is directly in front of you. And I know that sounds very high level or it doesn't give a lot of detail, but let me provide that detail. In order for the talent to have exactly what they need, i.e., individuals looking for jobs, those candidates, they have to know exactly where they're headed, A, but then also they need the right skill set to be able to go into various pathways, specifically AI. And so the skill set it's not what it used to be anymore. It's transitioning because, again, you mentioned a lot of tech individuals just lost their jobs due to AI.
Yeah.
But why is that? Right? It's providing the talent with the right skill set, not for just today, but for tomorrow, because that's going to continuously happen. So the answer is, how do we align to make sure everyone has the necessary skill set? And that's a whole other topic.
And I'm kind of the mind right now that I've been some of the other stuff that I've been doing a lot of research on is that companies always react this way.
Yeah.
They just go, oh my gosh, let's get rid of everybody. They very rarely stop to say, hey, I wonder if we can go out there and be 20 to 200 times better than our competition with our skill set. Now, let's balance that against some other information. Y'all can tell I be out there researching, y'all. This other information that's coming in is that people in organizations are fighting and preventing AI AI things from being used. All right, so here, if this is y'all out there, listen up. Stop that.
Please.
Because A, you ain't gonna stop it. B, can you be convincing? This is where I'm going to say you're going to have to get on your, hey, win friends and influence people horse, right? Y'all remember that, how to win friends and influence people. It's an old school technique, but it also speaks to what Ashley and I were talking about off mic. We were talking about these soft skills that a lot of people don't have. Mm-hmm. You're now going to get into the business of showing how you can use these tools to 10, 20, 200x what's going on in the organization. I mean, here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I hear like a lot of companies laying off and all this kind of stuff, but there's going to be some smart companies, and hopefully that's y'all, that are out there saying, wait, what? I'm not laying nobody off. In fact, if you want to lay your talent off, I will hire them. We're going to give them the tools because they'll probably be ready by that time, right? They'll probably says, okay, I tried to fight it and I lost. So now I'm ready to just use it and be mad about it, whatever. The employees then will be ready. So you can go out and compete in a whole different way. That's, I think, is the play. That's what I want to, base this talk on. Mm-hmm. The jobocalypse, yes. But what do you do to survive it? Here it is. Mm-hmm. Pick up them tools. Ashley and I will show you. We do all kind of stuff. I'm 10 toes down, 10 toes, 4 fingers and 2 thumbs. I'm in on all things AI. We will teach you some of the tools to use. In fact, this weekend, every weekend, I do a class, a workshop, a 2-hour workshop every weekend. And this cohort is like 6 weeks, and it's called Action Lab. And all I did was teach them how to create landing pages in less than 10 minutes so that they can point people to the page. Because that used to be a bugaboo. That used to be a hang up, right? That used to be a hang up. They was like, I don't know how to build this stuff. And I says, well, let's go build it. And I used an old school tool. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I used ChatGPT, an old school tool.
Oh.
An old school tool to show them how to build it. Now what I'm doing is showing them how to get people over to it, what to do next, and all these different things. Use the tools. Expand what your company can do. If you're still there, if you're left standing, you show them, I'm the person that's going to implement all of this stuff.
And see, too, I want to expand a little bit on bringing in the help to invest into your current employees, because that's what you want to do, right? If you decide to let everyone go and then you need them back, that's going to cost you a lot more money. And we want to save you the trouble. And so a lot of organizations, to get around helping their employees to gain that necessary skill set, they've hired people, training instructors to come in to teach their employees how to do it. And we can do that for you.
AI implementer.
Yes.
Right? Because
Right.
when that's how we'd write your resume. We'd say, hey, I've learned to be an AI implementer. We'll call it something really, really cool. We'll show you how to be, receptive to all that kind of stuff. And I think one of the biggest things that we have the ability to show you is that once you understand the principles, then, you understand how something's wrapped. That's one of the key parts, right? It's like, okay, well, what's wrapping this? Is it OpenAI 5.5 at this recording is 5.5 now. Okay. If it's Claude, it's not going to be Claude Mythos, because they said they refuse to unleash that puppy. And then OpenAI comes out with 5.5 that says it does more and is better than Mythos, but it costs. To use it, if you're going to be using the AI at the back end of it. But the point is, the moment we show you how to understand what's underneath the hood, you become a powerhouse, because you can kind of see, well, this tool is best for this. This tool is best for this. So you're not going to be the either oring, you're going to be anding. I'll give you an example. This weekend, I came across a couple of new tools, and I just kind of says, hey, what's under the hood here? And it says, oh, this is powered. Now, this was a pretty amazing one. It was actually powered by multiple tools. So, and this is what I liked about it. It would decide based on what was requested, what tool to use to save me money, save me tokens, save me. Now that is something that, imagine this, you're in a company and you're saying, hey, if we're just writing this, let's use Claude Haiku. If we're just doing this, we're going to probably need, Claude Code. If we're doing this, well, we can use maybe the Chinese mouse. Now, if that's you become like the conductor. Think about it. You become the conductor within a company of the tools to use. That's a job.
Yeah. Where do they find those?
Where do they find what? The tools?
Yes.
Oh, well, we'll leave a link for you. There's some very specific ones. I've been using a tool the other day. I think I used, it was Genspark. I think that was the tool. Maybe that was a Genspark. I think it was Genspark. And Genspark was now don't get me wrong. If you try to use the free version, which I try to do every time, I try to use the free version, and that sucker was running out of tokens like crazy. But once I kind of got over there, I was like, oh, okay, I see what Genspark's doing. It's kind of, utilizing multiple tool sets. And then I used another tool just a few minutes ago, even before I came on here, and it was beautiful. This thing created, I would show you. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. This thing created me a really, really cool thing. I'll show you here real quick. Mm-hmm. So in using this particular tool, now I will warn you, when you just start with these tools, they always make it seem like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. It's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually you kind of get the game, right? You kind of go, okay, this is basically using this underneath. All right, I'll show y'all real quick. So I'm just kind of moo-mooing around with it a little bit, right? And this particular one is called Replo. And I wanted to use it because I was on a podcast. I heard a guy talking about it. And I thought, okay, I'll check it out. Right now, again, if you're a focus for results person, if you've got entrepreneur ADD, then you might want to go to all these tools. But I lean right into mine. I see it as a superpower. I got entrepreneur ADD. I'm in it. Right. So anyway, I'm looking at this thing and I says, okay, create this for me. See what you can do. I used the image from one of the action labs that I'm doing, and it did a pretty good job. And here's what's most amazing, y'all. If you notice, I can change stuff right here. That's different. You get to use an AI tool, but you don't have to prompt it to change for you. You can change it yourself. Oh, now that is a little bit of a difference. Whereas most AI tools, they do the work for you, and then you got to reprompt them, and then it tries to change stuff, and then it didn't do it right. Now you're pissed, whatever. I could do it right here. If I wanted to put in an S apostrophe S, I could do that, right? So if I do apostrophe S, bam, it'll do it. I was like, all right, that's different. That's different than what you may see in other AI tools, right? Now, I literally just wanted this thing to build something for me very, very quickly that is, and this happens to have a Shopify, what's the word I'm connecting plugin. Now this happens to have a Shopify plugin, and I really wanted this to be as if somebody was reading it on their phone. That's why I decided to go over and check it out, and it was pretty good. It did some amazing things, and get this, look at this, y'all. Now y'all know if something costs you, you got to have a chance to earn. This thing has a built-in referral link, so you share it, and somebody buys it because they liked it, you immediately get earnings. Now that is pretty good. All right. So if we saw this, if I said to share it or something like that, copy the link, and then I would pop it up and see how it looked. Right. So when I do this, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in and see. Hopefully y'all can see this too. I don't think you can see it. I have to share this one. Oh, share this tab instead. All right. So if you can see this, so I'm just popping it in, seeing what comes up. And you see what it's doing here. All right. So, okay. You say, all right, look at this. It's got the little shopping cart up there and everything. So again, this right here, if somebody clicked on that, it then gives you a chance to earn. But this isn't too bad. It's all white. I can't really complain about it being all white because I just wanted it to do something simple, right? Mm-hmm. This thing right here, ready to transfer your business, register now. Now, I will admit, I've been going back and forth with them, and I've been saying, hey, the buttons ain't working. I put some links in. Why ain't my buttons working? So it's like, well, we noticed that this happened, so we couldn't connect it. I was like, all right, hey, no harm, no foul, but just know I don't play that.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Right now, the tools right now just don't afford some of these other tools that you might try out the chance to not be good. That's the point, right? They're like, look, I don't have time. They don't have time not to. But now, let's think about that from a job standpoint. Here you are, you're out there learning this stuff like I do. And you're bringing this into your work. You're saying, hey, I was testing out this new, this new tool. I think it works pretty good. I think it'll work pretty good for our company. Now, if they trust you, then you get a chance to just use these tools and be the hero. Maybe you even train people at the job
to use them as well. Mm-hmm.
You become the chief AI, tester or something. I don't know. I'm changing up a lot of stuff even on my end, just as a consultant. I'm going, it used to be Randy O coaching and consulting. Now it's Randy O AI coaching and consulting.
And that is a smart move, my friend. It is, because you are that AI expert and it's time. And so again, for y'all want to get access to more of those tools that Randy recommend, then make sure y'all join our membership link too. We're going to drop that for y'all a little bit later. And so we offer a few of those tools too.
Yep. And if by chance you see the episode before I have, put the link in here, then that's just on me because, Ashley, she's been on vacation and, well, I said my helper, who helps me do this stuff is gone, so I think I'll take time off. Anyway, so we just like to talk to y'all about this stuff really quickly, y'all, because we want to not only have this conversation with you, whether you see it on YouTube. I don't care if it gets 5 views or 500 views, 5,000. It doesn't matter. What does matter is when you see it, you say to yourself, "I want to see more of their stuff." Right? So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Comment. We really want to hear your comments, pushback or otherwise. But also, if you start seeing some of the other links where we say, hey, we're going to be having a workshop and we're trying to coordinate ourselves. Both of us are really, really busy right now, but we also have a time when it's not as busy, when school's out for me and all these different things. And then that's when we just go hog wild. We do if it was up to me, but it's not. If it was up to me, I'd have a workshop a day.
Well, you're not saying nothing but a word if we can get a workshop
All right.
today.
See how she
Let's see
see how
that.
she
You
is.
see how he tried to y'all
We're
see that?
busy. We're busy right now, but when we get to that point, y'all, when we start having these workshops, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to test out a couple of live ones,
Sure.
right? And then we'll see how those goes. If we get some people in and they're really getting down with what we're talking about, especially with the job and AI, the Jobpocalypse, how to survive it, all of that. That's literally what we're going to start off with. How to survive this Jobpocalypse. How to position yourself in such a way. Ashley, I didn't tell you, but I have created the collateral for the workshop.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been, while you were gone last week, I did a video and then I
Okay.
decided to go ahead and create the collateral. At another time, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show Ashley first, so y'all don't get it. Y'all don't see it and be like, "Well, we just saw it." No.
See,
Then this is what we're gonna be basing the live in real life workshops, or I'm sorry, they're probably gonna be online at first, and then if we get enough people asking us, we might do one in real life. Now, I do these a lot. I got other collaborators that I work with and stuff. So I'm constantly out here doing stuff like this. But if y'all want to see us IRL in real life, then you would have to let us know. We'll leave a link or let us know even in the comments. Ashley, she's traveling around. She just got back. Where did you just get back from?
I just got back from Hawaii, guys. Whole week.
Yeah, with work. Talking
Yeah.
about now, that's what I really want to dive into, and then we can end on this article you sent me.
Sure. And
What were
so,
you talking about over there?
and so really, y'all, I was gaining the insight as far as how the workforce ecosystem works together over there and what's available. And so just like what we see here on the mainland, it's replicated in a different form in Hawaii. And so they have a very laid back culture. And so sometimes a lot of the employers over there is like, hey, what about those soft skills? We need them to hone in on soft skills as well as technical skills, such as integrating AI. And so the main question was, how can y'all help us do this work? And so that is the question, and that is kind of what is happening behind those closed doors. When you think about you're applying for all these jobs, just like we said, the job apocalypse, how can you survive that? You want to know what's going on behind the curtain. What's really happening? And so I had a chance to learn a lot about how education and industry connects together and how that creates the jobs, the pathways, and so forth and so on. And so, as Randy does a lot of AI work with a lot of other collaborators and things he do to day, I learned a lot about what's going on behind the curtain with the workforce ecosystem in general. And so that is what I've gained. They want to make sure y'all have the right skill set, essentially, because they are really willing to hire. So the goal is to make sure education can align with what they're doing, right? So that's that, so that
Yeah.
you can have that necessary skill set. But again, we also offer a few things that can get you what you need sooner rather than later, I'll say.
Yeah, and I'm really curious about something, and that
Yeah.
is, as I remember when I was in the workforce space, super heavy, one of the big things even back then was soft skills,
Yep.
right? And then it was like, hey, do you know how to navigate through a chaotic situation? Can you speak in a way that gets cooperation? Can you do presentations? Soft skills, right? Not just the hard tech stuff. Now, I can imagine as we think about the use of AI tools and all that kind of stuff, if the AI is going to be, for the most part, taking all of the hard skills, anyway, in other words, the technical know how, you better bet that soft skills are going to be ever even more important. But I'm curious, soft skills for who? Who's going to be left? Who's going to be left to be nice to?
That is a very interesting question, especially when a lot of the certain tasks are being replaced by robots. But that's
Yeah. What are we going to do, y'all? Here, Ashley sent me a report called the State, what is it? State of Tech Workforce 2026. Ashley, do you recall some of the things that you got from that? Let me
yep.
double check it here. Let me see what it was saying. I'm gonna see if I can show y'all this real quick. I'll probably be looking the opposite way here, but
No, no. I can, and while you kind of bring that up, I can touch a little bit on exactly what it was. So I was kind of going through a lot of articles, and I came across this report from CompTIA, and so they did a tech workforce report that shows what tech jobs are coming into what areas in the
mhm.
US. And just a couple, just some highlights there. They kind of predicted that maybe over 30,000 tech jobs are coming to Texas and maybe 16,000 in California. And so I was like, okay, that's interesting because California is really known for tech because they have Google, Apple, everyone's out
Mhm.
there. But really, it's not just tech roles, it's tech roles that also utilizes AI. Ha ha, because just like Randy was saying earlier, a lot of tech roles were removed due to AI because it was those simple automation tasks. But to be able to survive the job apocalypse in tech nowadays, you have to make sure you are being the architect of what how AI can play into the organization versus just simply using ChatGPT or the other tools that we mentioned before, because they're replacing those repetitive roles, right? Those basic analyst roles and those support tasks. And so that's a lot of what those tech roles got removed. They were doing
Hmm.
just that, the repetitive coding, the basic analysis. But now they're like, hey, you have to put in some AI in there so we can see how we can build our workforce for
Yeah,
tomorrow.
it's good. It's good. I want to share some extra stuff that I've been learning too, y'all. And that's one of the things that they've been talking a lot about. They being, all the people that are, in this space too, is now companies are. When I heard this, it almost made me sick. And if you work for Meta, I don't want to hear no smoke. But I heard that Meta was requiring they had some kind of technology that it looks at your keystrokes, it looks at what you're doing. It's basically saying, are you training our AI now? I got sick off of that, and I says, this is just going too far. And then I see that there was this company in India, and they have now. This was the kind of work that you would think, oh, well, these people sew stuff, So well, they were showing people in the factory sewing things with a camera on, glasses, blah blah blah, camera showing how that's done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's see if I got this right. They were teaching AI to, and it was, get this. This is what was interesting about this, and this is why in what Ashley and I do here at Ashran, we say jobs, but we also say business, and then we say life. Right? That's kind of like our little moniker at the end, because there was a 21-year-old dude that introduced this technology to this factory, and all he is doing is seeing what they do and selling the data. Selling the data to people that want their AIs to be trained on this stuff. So let's see if I got this right. You're basically in there saying, we'll give you X amount of dollars a day to show us what you're doing with your hands so we can train our AI, and then that person is collecting it all, curating it all, and basically sending it over to train the Groks of the world, the Open AIs of the world, the Anthropics of the world, the Kimmys, the Quinn. All of this is being sent to train on it.
Yep.
To one day have someone else in there going, yeah, we got this. Wait, you going to sew my coat? Yeah, we got it. We got a tool that'll do that.
Yeah.
And don't tell me you can't do it, because remember, they got people doing knee surgery, or they got machines doing knee surgery on you, doing hip surgery. It's called Da Vinci. That's been out, what, 20, 25 years.
Years. Yeah.
AI in your body doing the do. I'm just saying. So don't say it can't happen.
It can. You got to get ready for it, though. That's all. We just have to be equipped. Knowledge is power.
So here's our call, right? Here's our call to you. What will you do to get upskilled as quickly as possible? Will you come to some of the stuff that we're offering? Up to you, right? And I'm literally making the call to you to say, come on now. Let us show you how to do some of this stuff. Let us, take a look at even your resume stuff to see if there's some areas that we can start spinning what you do to sound more AI acceptable. It could be in something that you already do, a tool that you already use, that we can now narrate it in a way that says, yes, I do use AI tools. In fact, I've been using a tool like this for a long time. Here's what I can also do. We'll have to see. Let us know. That's our call to you. If you're willing to do it, come on with it. What do you think, Ash?
I think that's right. It's time.
All right, so let's do it, y'all. We'll see you in the next video.